Welcome to the highlights of this Benson Hedges World Series game at the Gabba. It's the second match in a double-header this weekend. On the first day, England defeated Zimbabwe quite comprehensively, 2 points for them. Now, this is the way the Benson Hedges table looks for this Australia A match. The Australians 8 points from 4 games, Australia A 4 from 4, England have their 4 points from 4, and Zimbabwe have finished their tournament now, 6 games for them and just the 1 victory, 2 points for them and a minus net run rate. The England side got up yesterday to be very close to Australia A in the net run rate, and that'll be important as this competition draws to a conclusion. Now, the 2 teams for today, first of all, the Australian side, Mark Taylor the skipper, then Michael Slater, the 2 Wars, Boone, Stuart Law, Emery, McDermott, May, Fleming and McGrath, and Shane Warne, not because of fitness but just to give him a bit of a rest, has been made 12th man. Now, the Australian A side, skippered by Damien Martin. Greg Blewett is in place of Lehman. Matthew Hayden is there. Michael Bevan has dropped from the top side down to the Australian A. Justin Langer, Ricky Ponting, Mark Atkinson comes in for Emery, who's gone up to the top side in place of Healy, who has a hamstring. Gavin Robertson, Rifle, then Hughes and Shane George from South Australia. Peter McIntyre is 12th man, so 2 leg spinners acting as 12th man. We join play now after Mark Taylor has won the toss and decided to bat. It's the 3rd over, 7 runs on the board. Merv Hughes is the bowler and he's bowling to the Australian captain.
Through. Could go all the way. It was nicely timed. This beats mid-off and that's 4. The outfield lightning fast.
Yes, Mark Taylor's in very good form. Suddenly seemed to find good form when Craig McDermott came in the situation where Australia were trying to avoid the follow-on in the Test match. Started to play a few shots. Then he came out in the second innings and played in blazing fashion.
Out! Slater drives, Rifle picks him up. He does hit the ball in the air, square of the wicket. That's good bowling and a very sharp catch. So Slater departs as Bevan catches it low down, went very quickly. That's good bowling.
Slater trying to drive on the rise, and there may have just been enough movement there from Rifle to catch a thick outside edge. Just deviated slightly. That's all you need. And Michael Bevan there at point, taking a very good catch. Slater is gone. Australia 1 for 17.
Mark Waugh taking guard from umpire Parker. There he goes again. Robertson getting a workout. This time he doesn't make it. I just wonder with Mark Waugh whether they should do a Graham Gooch and bring a man into short mid-wicket, making him try and work the ball somewhere else.
Here we go again. That's another good shot. That'll bring up the 50 all the way along the ground. Will it get to the fence? Not quite. That's very well done. Blewett down there, dragging that one back. In the air, and that's it. He's chipped it up. I think that was more out of frustration than anything else. So Blewett has struck again. He got him out in the Shield match in Adelaide, and here he's frustrated him. You can see that wide ball lost, the ball before he got out. Taylor was unimpressed with the fact that it was so wide. There were 2 in a row, and that one he just chipped up to mid-on. And so the Australian captain is out.
Very good catch. Looks like a little dolly, but in fact it was going away. The breeze was pushing it away from Paul Rifle all the time, and I reckon he had to make that little extra stretch in the last fraction of a second to grab it. It was very well taken. 2 for 65.
So David Boone is the new batsman. His career strike rate down there of 64. This is George again. Deflection off the pad, and that's running down to the boundary. Once again, Rifle down there.
It's not that he might do, he just expects it to go somewhere off the middle of the bat. Well, just as I said, that not quite off the middle of the bat, but it certainly went for 4. It's his day so far. Australia 2 for 87.
19 overs have been bowled. There's a few other sportsmen around the place enjoying the cricket here today. Carl Rackerman on the right, Trevor Gilmeister in the middle, and Garrick Morgan on the left. two of the new Crusher signees for the Rugby League competition for '95.
Well, Australia don't need to do anything but just keep the scoreboard ticking over at 5 and over. They've got the momentum. That was given to them early on by Mark Waugh. All they've got to do is retain it. They don't need to try and score much quicker at the moment. Keep the wickets in hand. Just keep knocking the ball around like that. Quite simple. Yes, with Australia going so well, the Australia A team need a couple of wickets. That can change the whole game, get new batsmen in.
Once again, Merv at third man. This time Booney doesn't take it easy on him. And that's the 50 partnership. Long on, no, just over Robertson's head. And a boundary for David Boon. It's 2 for 120. That's well placed. They've got the boundary in early. So this has been a terrific exhibition of batting between Mark Waugh and Boon. So having got the boundary early in the over, now you just pick up ones and twos, and once again Australia have got a very good over. Australia 2 for 149 after 30. There's going to be a change out in the middle with Merv Hughes coming on at the Vulture Street end, and down at the Vulture Street end commentary box it'll be Richie Benaud and Bill Laurie.
That's well played. The field up a bit from Mervyn Hughes. And that's 4 more. That's intelligent batting.
It's very hot out there, so all the singles Bill Laurie is talking about will be taken until they find themselves just a little bit exhausted, and then they'll take the chance to hit over the top. That's good, sensible cricket.
It's good running. David Boon scampering, all legs are going, but he's safely home. Well taken by the wicketkeeper.
It was a very good call. He sensed as soon as it was going to get past Merv Hughes on the onside of the pitch that the fielder would have to come round, skirting around to his left-hand side, and being a right-hand thrower.
Charges him. Man down there, could be out. He's coming in. He's got him. Good catch. Blewett picks him up, much like yesterday when Thorpe hit down the ground, caught it long on. This time Mark Waugh charges Merv Hughes, and Greg Blewett took a superb catch. So Mark Waugh out for 93.
Well, that was as unnecessary as anything you'd ever see. They're scoring at 5 runs and over at the moment. Century there for the taking, and also the chance of getting the Australian target set for the A's up to around about 260-70. And a fine catch by Greg Blewett. Judged it perfectly. Not easy when they're so low and you're coming in straight towards the ball. 3 for 163.
Steve Waugh, the new batsman, is taking guard out there against Gavin Robertson.
That's nicely placed.
Beautifully played, the late cut, really waiting for that ball to come to him, Steve Waugh, and placed that beautifully. Boon coming back for 3, and that's good running. Very hot out there for the batsman between the wickets. But, Stephen Waugh there played the perfect late cut. I've seen photographs of great Don Bradman playing this in the album. Just waiting for the ball and cutting it away past the vacant slip cordon for 3. Beautifully played. Australia well placed after 36 overs, full house. Seeing a very good batting exhibition, 3 for 177. Shane George coming back into the attack, and he was quite lively early on. Beautiful shot, forward of point. Merv Hughes is the fieldsman. This could go all the way. Big Merv's trying hard, and he gets there, and I pick up 3 all run.
That's 50 for David Boon.
A nice sensible innings by David Boon, coasting that second run. He was the foil for Mark Waugh's excellent fluent innings.
The second fastest in the competition, scored by David Boon. Not today, but he has the second fastest 50. Should be 2 here.
Yes, it must be a bit daunting for the young A-team lads in the field, just looking at that total, thinking, well, a runner ball from now on in is bound to be 260.
And he's found the gap in the outfield. That's a terrific effort. Terrific effort from Michael Bevan. And they've really got to hustle to get 3. Well done.
Well, there might be a smile there by David Boon, but it was great chasing. He really ran hard on the boundary, dived, and terrific arm. Made him scamper in the end. Lovely dive.
.62 to David Boon, 21 Steve Waugh. And Australia A are looking down the barrel of at least 250. What sort of effect David Boon has on the game in these last few overs? Could be losing a bit of strength. And dropped. Well, that'll help him because he was probably tiring a little with this humidity. The captain has put him down.
Yeah, the youngsters needed that. Need to get a new batsman in. Regulation catch, straight in.
So 1 run off the 50 partnership. And there is the half-century partnership for this pairing. And they'll get an extra one. Well, they should have. Steve Waugh was a bit sloppy there. And he'll be caught at mid-off. So really, Steve Waugh struggling. In fact, he indicates that he was trying to hit it on the onside rather than the offside. And Shane George has got his first wicket for Australia A.
Well, I think it was almost relief there that he got out. It wasn't one of his best innings. It was a struggle, difficult. Timing wasn't there. And sometimes you think, well, I gotta go, because in one-day cricket, if it's just not your day, when you're getting towards the end of an innings, you might as well leave it to somebody else. Easy catch. But Australia is still in a great position. No problems. It's easy runs from now on. Australia 4 for 213.
Quick shout of no there from Stuart Law. The new man at the crease receiving a good ovation. He's the acting Queensland captain. Got a century down in Hobart at Bellerive Oval, and he's in there following the fall of Steve Waugh. Should be an easy 2. That's the final over, final ball for Shane George. Australia 4 for 215. The 10th over there, bringing the best result for Australia with 15, but there have been some very good overs there as well. Lots of 9s, 110.
Australia doing a good job in the final overs here, not conceding boundaries, bowling nice and straight and full to the Australian batsmen. Law calls for 2, might even go for 4.
Yes, that is a good shot. It's not easy to hit 4s when the fieldsmen are back. That's the first boundary in 14 overs, which gives you some idea of the strategy being employed by the batsman out there at the moment. This one just a little bit wide, just giving him a bit of room to play the shot there. He also, in fact, moved his feet back a little bit.
Surely left now to Stuart Orr to do some hitting down the ground, or this big Merv comes back into the attack. Let's get two here. Oh dear, not prepared to take on anybody at the moment. That's unusual in the Bench Hedges World Series. I know he's got a good arm, but he was a long way out. It is the deep boundary.
Let's just watch the batsman turn here. The ball's still a long way from the fieldsman.
There it goes. It's going all the way. That's a big hit for six. Way back. Beautifully struck down the ground by David Boon. That's what the full house wants to see in the final overs.
Yes, that was a magnificent shot. As it left the bat, you knew that he'd really timed it to perfection, right off the meat of the bat. Just watch this. Merv Hughes just short of a length there, and Boon really going through with it, and it really does go high up and over the top there, and well caught.
Can David Boon make 100 with 3 overs to go? He's on 80 off 89. He's got the strike. Full rifle. I think Stuart Orr might come back. No, he doesn't. Good strong arm, but the throw getting a little bit ragged. Now they're getting tired. Out, straight down his throat at cover, trying to force the ball over the infield. Paul Rifle picks up the second wicket. Matthew Hayden, the fieldsman.
Yes, he was never going to drop that one. He's got very good hands, and you can see there Law really trying to have a go at this one, and he just got underneath it a little bit, didn't quite middle it. It seemed to me to be the base of the bat. Hit it straight to Hayden, who made the catch, no trouble at all. So that's the end of Law, and Australia 5 down for 241.
Craig McDermott doesn't make a lot, but he strikes at 87.3. So he's got the chance to throw the bat at Paul Rifle. Stuart Orr caught at cover by Matthew Hayden. Return hit. Got a hand to it. Just a single.
Yes, well, I really hope that David Boon has a go at every ball here, because this has been a pretty ordinary performance by the back end here. It's, the fact of the matter is they've been at 5 all the time. They haven't increased the run rate at all in these latter stages, and they've got 5 wickets in hand. Well, the fielding has been absolutely outstanding, it hasn't it? It really has been the question of the batsman not really raising the tempo.
Wide called.
Tell you what, Boon sucked the umpire in that time. Having gone back a couple of times, he then decided to go outside off stump and try and flick it away. That was that far away. Just have a look at it. Could he have put bat on this one? Look where he was standing.
Just chips down to long on. He goes to 86 not out, David Boon. It's all over for Australia after 50 overs. 5 for 252. Another good innings by David Boon. He's in sparkling form of late in the one-day games. 86 not out off 96 balls faced with 3 4s and 1 6. McDermott not out 5. But in the end, I thought Australia A did pretty well.
That is a very good effort from the Australian A side, because they kept the Australian team down to fewer runs in the second 25 overs than they made in the first. It was 2 for 132 after 25, and they were looking at something around about 270 or 275. In fact, this is what they finished with. That's the scorecard: 5 for 252. Mark Waugh 93 from 102. The scoring rate was good all the way along. It remained steady at 5, and that's the way it was with Boon unbeaten on 86. Steve Waugh 23, a bit out of touch there, and Stuart Law 12, 5 for 252. And the bowling figures: Australia A 55 from 10 overs for Hughes. They all bowled 10 overs. Hughes got 1 wicket. Rifle 2 for 46. After a pretty ordinary start. He came back very well towards the end. Shane George 1 for 54, Greg Blewett 1 for 46, and Gavin Robertson none for 47. Well, it's still a big target for the Australian A side, 253 to win, but they can do it. As I say, they could have been chasing 275. They're in with a bit of a chance here.
So there it is, 253 runs is the target, and they need to score them at 5.07 runs per over. And we're going to see Fleming now operating from the Stanley Street end. That's nice timing, and he's got it through the field. Slater diving away behind square, and they'll come back for the third. That's good running.
Because Matt Hayden really just pushed at it with a bit of a roll of the wrist. Might have got there a bit quicker than what Slater was expecting.
That's into the gap as well. So this is a better over for the A side. And we'll settle for 2 this time.
David Boone played a terrific innings for the Australians. Included 1-6 coming off Merv Hughes. Right down there into the members area. And the man who caught the catch, Brett Officer, a golfer on the Australian tour. And guess how he got into the ground today? He had some tickets left for him by David Boone. So Brett Officer, a very happy man. He would have been happier if he'd been getting $100 for the catch, but David Boone picking out his man there in the crowd, Brett Officer.
And the batsman's down. Very, very hard surface out there. It's very dry as well. Might be a few little loose pieces. So if we can just pick up the slip here from our stump vision camera. There we go. And as he tries to take off, that's the foot that goes there. Well, that's well fielded. Waugh's brilliant fielding there at short extra cover. Put his hand out there, and that was a really good stop.
Well, some of his teammates didn't even clap. I think they're so used to seeing Mark Waugh do brilliant things in the field, they just expect it now.
So 6 overs have gone now, and that gap beginning to open up even more. That's well fielded. And Law diving away to his left there. He went full length as well. That's very well done.
And he's just about earned his money in the field, Stuart Law. 2 tremendous saves. That one definitely saving a boundary.
It's a good shot into the gap. Good afternoon, Jeffrey.
Good afternoon, Bill. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, these two young opening batsmen are finding out that the hardest thing to do in one-day cricket when you're batting is to actually get some momentum going into the innings. Sharp. A really firm on drive.
First boundary from Greg Blewett, the perfect on drive. It's just a fraction 4, and he really lets on it very quickly. It's no wicket for 24 here at the Gabba. The target 252 or 253 to win, as we see Glenn McGrath to take up the attack from the members' end. That's hit down the ground, not quite as off the middle of the bat, but it could go all the way. Tim May's giving chase, but not going to make it. 2-4 to Greg Blewett. McGrath hit down the ground, that could go all the way. He's a powerful man. He bowls straight like McGrath does. He may give Hayden a chance of hitting straight in an arc between mid-off and mid-on. First 4 for Matthew Hayden.
Yes, they're doing all right at the A-team, but they just feel they need to do a little bit more. 2 or 3 good overs can change a game very quickly. So can a couple of wickets, so they mustn't lose the wickets as they're losing a little bit of patience. Shot. Cracking shot.
That was the type of shot that Graham Pollock showed us at the Sydney Cricket Ground, wasn't it? Stand to attention and hammer the short pitch delivery, and Glenn McGrath making the mistake of bowling short at a goodish pace, and he just rocked back, but wasn't a great use of the feet, and clubbed it beautifully past point. Always going to be 4, so all of a sudden 2 boundaries. It's a very good shot. He looked for 2. 10 runs off the over. A good one for Australia, eh? No wicket for 41. Greg Blewett on strike to Damien Fleming. In the air, good shot. Beautifully played. That's the way. Over the top. Down the ground. Blewett hitting on the up. Safely over mid-off.
Well, he took a chance here, hitting over the top, and he hit it magnificently. Terrific.
Beautifully played. No fear when you're young. Good eye. He goes this time square. That could be 4 more, though. Slater's falling behind it. Didn't quite get it off the meat of the bat. They pick up 3. Great throw, but excellent running. And Greg Blewett following his partner's example in the previous over. Throwing down the gauntlet, these young chaps.
Well, they've just took a little while to settle themselves, to get used to the pitch, get a few runs under the belt. And now they're beginning to look for the bowling instead of allowing the bowlers to bowl at them.
Oh, beautiful cricket. Glorious shot. Picking over the infield. Greg Blewett taking toll of Damien Fleming. 11 off the over.
Australia a considerable distance behind Australia at the comparative 16 overs, but they haven't lost a wicket. He's told it again. Good shot.
Yes, you get the feeling that Greg Blewett fancies Glenn McGrath a little bit. Easier for the right-hander than the left-hander to get him away. McGrath does have a very good Yorker. Maybe he's got to resort to that a little earlier in the innings. That's a good shot. It's going to be safe and away to the boundary. 5 fours for Greg Blewett.
Well, that's exactly where McGrath doesn't want to bowl it. Just where the batsman can hit it on the up.
No doubt that Greg Blewett has got to Glenn McGrath. Fortunately for Greg Blewett, there was a bit of a fumble by Craig McDermott because Blewett slipped. He's done that a couple of times now.
Now then, Tim May. Beautiful flight. He can still get away for 1. That drifted nicely away to outside the off stump. No wicket for 88. An even 50 to Greg Blewett. Nice knock. He's shown a lot of intelligence out there and struck the ball with beautiful timing and placement as well. Mark Taylor is getting himself organised now. Stuart Law is going to come on in the commentary box. Tony Greig, and with him Greg Chappell.
That's a good shot, beautifully timed, straight down the ground, but McGrath will cut it off. And what a good throw that was from McGrath, right alongside the stumps. It's a lovely straight shot. Just watch McGrath's throw here. Oh, he's hit that one. That's a lovely shot, and over the top. That's a fantastic shot, just a little bit short. He was onto it in a flash. And has dispatched it over the mid-wicket boundary.
This is a very strong shot from Greg Blewett. He's a lean build, but he's a strong lad. Wasn't all that short. He's just rocked back and pulled it over the mid-wicket boundary, just clearing the ropes into the shade.
Out. Straight to mid-wicket. There's no way in the world that Mark Waugh drops those. He really has gone for that one again, trying to hit it over Waugh's head. Didn't quite middle that one. And so the Australian side has broken through at last.
The shot was on. Greg Blewett knew there was a gap at mid-wicket. If he could just get the ball in the air over the top of Mark Waugh. He just got it a little bit low on the bat. Mark Waugh, awkward height, but he handled it very well. Greg Blewett, a terrific debut for the Australia A side. 63 from 74 deliveries. Sets a good foundation. Australia A 1 for 104.
So a youngster, just 20 years of age, coming in at number 3 here because Martin's got a bit of a bruised finger. Yes, and Mark Taylor just taking out of his pocket there the piece of paper, which obviously has indicated that they're right in the pound seats because as he took it out, he had a little chat to Hayden. A little bit of gamesmanship, saying you better get on with it, mate. Have a look at those clouds over there. And there are a few over there, in fact. I don't think there's much they can do about it. Back for the second. Yes, our information is that it may just be that with this wind blowing, the rain will just skirt the edge of the ground here. Clouds just moving around the ground. That's well played. That's Hayden's 50. It's right off the meat of the bat. It's running away down to the deep long on boundary. McGrath is in there and does the fielding. Once again, he's thrown nice and flat. So Hayden has now made 50 off 87 balls. Oh, he's dragged that one down. Well, that was good bowling, actually. That was a slower ball. Hayden went to pull it, and he dragged it down onto the stumps. That was very well bowled by Stuart Law, and that's the second time he's got Hayden. So Matthew Hayden out, having just scored his 50. He's out for 51.
Good bowling by Stuart Law. The slower ball again out of the back of the hand. Didn't bounce as much as Matthew Hayden expected. Bottom edge onto the stumps, and one Queenslander to another. 2 for 131.
So Michael Bevan has joined Ricky Ponting in the centre.
He only faced 33 balls, so he's been going along all right. The problem is that you need 33 from 33 balls in this situation.
Dermot a bit soft, Mark here, and I pick up 2. As Ricky Ponting's hit 18 singles in that 20. He's placed the ball very well, but at number 3 he's got to show some authority. Taylor makes a change. It's going to be Craig McDermott to come back into the attack. He bowled beautifully in his first spell. Thick edge. 4 runs, is it? And that's into the rope. First boundary for Ricky Ponting. They all count. At one stage, if he wasn't going to bowl at his 10. Oh, he dropped him. Stephen Waugh, a brilliant gully fieldsman, and they pick up 2 as well. Oh, Glenn McGrath needs a little bit of luck. Normally Steve Waugh would have held onto that. It was sharp, it was deep enough to get a good sider and put it down. Let's put this away. It's a beautiful pull shot, and that's 4. That's what happens. First of all, the drop catch, the bonus run, and then a magnificent pull shot. Hanging in, really. About 20 behind for most of the innings, but they've got wickets in hand. Takes on Fleming. He's got a good arm, but he's a brilliant runner. He's a whippet. Beautiful running. Superb running by Michael Bevan. Damien Fleming's got a good, strong arm, throwing with the breeze, but he was never in any trouble at all. There's a chance if he hits. It's Mark Waugh. He's got it. What a cricketer. What a cricketer. Mark Waugh from side on got Bevan the whippet halfway, and he didn't miss. Great cricket.
That was absolutely brilliant. Real pleasure to be here to see that, I can tell you. Just one stump at which to aim. Wasn't one there, but it's the sort of thing you have to look for. Now, can he get back before the batsman, Bevan? Didn't need to, just threw it. And that was wonderfully accurate. It's 3 for 166.
Terrific strike rate for Justin Langer in his 6 matches. Well, there's that pull shot again. One bounce.
Well, he seems to pick it up very quickly, the length of the ball.
Oh, he's been sent back by Justin Langer this time. Has Michael Bevan got there in time? Well, Peter Parker has called for the 3rd umpire. And I think Phil Emery feels as though he's got Ricky Ponting.
Well, at the end of an innings, when you're looking for every run, it gets to be a bit silly at times. You know we need more than a runner ball. Missed the wickets at first, but he's still got them.
That's a pretty good take by Phil Emery because he's skidding across on his knees. So Ricky Ponting is gone. Run out for 39. Australia A 4 for 172. Damien Martin, the captain, has dropped himself down to number 6 because he's got a bruised hand. And gone right on line, McDermott. He was on line with the previous Yorker. It was also a swinging Yorker on that occasion. He's gone right through Justin Langer. So the Australian A innings is starting to fall apart.
Yes, too much experience here for the youngsters. Craig McDermott bowling it very full at the death. The ball before this was full. This one is, it's full and straight. Working on the principle, no width, no length for the batsman to hit. And if they miss, he hits. The A-team in trouble now, 5 for 176.
Merv Hughes looks like he's just been to the Brisbane barber when they took that photo. Someone's cut around the basin, I reckon. And fine leg is up. Tim May is the man at fine leg, and he's struggling. And he was actually way inside the circle at fine leg, which was a bit risky, but I'd say he's done something. This will test him out a bit, walking up the steps too. That's probably not what he needs. Gone. Damien Fleming knocks his teammate Merv Hughes right over.
Well, he's been sent in to do a job as Merv Hughes, but it is so difficult to come in and strike the ball for boundaries right from the word go. You're on a hide into nothing. If he could play a few balls and get himself in a bit, he probably would have a better chance of connecting. But again, Damien Fleming bowling straight so that if they miss, he hits. It's a lot more pressure on the hitter. If they know when they miss it, they're out. And Australia A 6 for 180.
Paul Rifle is now at the crease. Damien Fleming has just knocked one of his Victorian mates over in Merv Hughes. He didn't seem to enjoy that too much. Stuart Law is at 3rd man. Australia A require 69 from 48 deliveries with just 4 wickets in hand. That's 4. Gone straight to Mark Waugh. So that's the break that Glenn McGrath wanted. He needs a bit of a confidence booster. He's picked the ideal man to give it to him. Mark Waugh swallows those.
Yes, Glenn McGrath, since that first ball that went for 4, he's tried to keep the ball up to the batsman, and it's been successful. Straight, fairly well up, and he Well, it was just a simple catch in the end, but he'll be pleased with that. And it really signals the end for Australia, eh? 7 for 190.
He's a career strike rate of 75, just this being his fourth match.
Damien Fleming to continue. Make that 2 for 33. It's an easy out, Rifle, a very soft dismissal. Caught him with a bit of bounce. I don't know where he's trying to hit that, maybe to the onside, and Steve Waugh takes the catch.
Yes, I'd be quite interested to see the side on replay of this one, because it looked to me as if it stopped a little bit. Having said that, it was a pretty ordinary shot. You can see there he really got a little bit nervous about it. I think he perhaps thought it stopped a little more than it did and ended up just popping it straight in the air. You won't want to see this replay too often, that's for sure. Let's see if you can pick up the bounce here. Yes, I think that did stop a little bit. I thought I detected just a little bit of dirt knocked up too. And a very straightforward catch, that one. 8 for 196.
Mark Atkinson, new batsman. Australia A have lost 6 for 30 of 38 deliveries. It's well hit. That's a boundary. That's a beautiful stroke.
That's a magnificent shot from Atkinson. Just outside off stump, and he's looked for the gap.
So delivery, and he goes for 6 this time. It's going, it's going. Bounces over the rope. 4 more. Valuable runs for Australia A. Needing to keep the net run rate up. They're not gone yet. I think they're on their knees. Got him. Good bowling. Intelligent cricket from Stuart Waugh. Knocks over the leg stump with the full toss Yorker. Picks up his 3rd wicket.
As he wants out of here. And just watch this full toss. It's way in there and whack. That's the end of that, and that's it. Under the old arm goes the bat, and Mr. Atkinson wants out of there.
Neat as a pin, Mark Atkinson there. 9 for 213. It's been a good contest. 252 or 50 overs by Australia. In reply, 17,002 fans have seen Australia A get to 218 for 9. Make that all out. McDermott hits the stumps. That's the end of Shane George. So a very good effort by Australia here today. They batted with authority, and when challenged, contained Australia A.
The Australians were too good once again, despite a good start there for Australia A. Hayden and Blewett got away to 104 runs in the opening stand. 51 for Hayden from 89 balls, 63 for Blewett from 74. I thought he played brilliantly, and he confirmed his form down that Australian 11 game against England back in 1994. Quite a good young cricketer there. Ricky Ponting, 39, having to bat at number 3, with Damien Martyn injuring his finger and going in lower in the order. And the rest of the order fell away. The Australian bowling, very impressive. Glenn McGrath went there for 10 overs for 62 and 1 wicket. Craig McDermott, 8.5 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 29. And Damien Fleming, 2 for 35, are on song again. And Tim May, 6 overs, and David Byrne, 4, bowled out 10 between them of off-spin. Different quality, admittedly, but Tim May also has a hamstring injury, which is not good from Australia's point of view. And Stuart Law bowled well, 9 overs, no maiden, 3 for 46. Man of the match in this game here was Mark Waugh. And the points table, the Benson Hedges World Series points table shows Australia have now moved to 10 maximum points from 5 games played. England, after beating Zimbabwe yesterday, they weren't playing today, but they've got 4 points, and now they've jumped on top of Australia A as regards net run rate. A big doubleheader this weekend at the Gabba. England beat Zimbabwe, Australia beat Australia A. We've enjoyed every moment of it. Thanks for being with us, and for the moment, it's goodbye.